meeting is being recorded.
Our new, let me explain the today's assignment. So our demos has done actually. So we are going to start working on implementing the task now. It's okay. If hosting. This one. Yeah. So create a CAD application using Zerocode design. So today and tomorrow, you're going to implement a data set, APIs and page, and integrating that API to page and completing the task. So we are going to work on a CRUD application. CRUD means create, read, update, delete. So hope you guys know about this. What is meant by CRUD? Create means we are going to create a new record. Read means just viewing complete record. So create means here it's a save update API. Read means it's select API. So we have types, right, while creating API. So which means that the create means save update. Read means select API. Update and also save update only. So for create and update, we are use one type, a save update API. Delete, we have delete type. So to start creating a CRUD application, generally what we know, given in task in Zerocode, we have to not only here, suppose taking a building example. So instead of directly go and keep stores and all those things and buying carpenter of needs, what you do, you first do a build a proper pillar for that. Then only you are going to construct remaining building, right? Without doing that one, you are going to directly start buying things without planning. So build won't complete properly. So that's a kind of small example. Here also, what we have to do. So to start creating any working on any task, you have to create a data sets and its fields first. So you have to create data sets and fields first. Then after you have to create a API, and then after you have to create a page, and then after you have to implement in page builder by linking to API. This is how the flow has to work. Then only the task will complete properly. So if I say start implementing employees CAD application, like keep add a couple of fields in employee data set, add list delete, and means what you guys generally do. You're going to directly create a page and you are directly drag and drop a page builder in a grid. But thing is, there you require a API first to implement a list or to save to implement a form, whatever. So for the dream, so not only here Zerocode, generally in software lifecycle also, in development, real-time developers also, what they do, they have to create a meta information first. So meta means here it's a data set. So they have to create metadata first, and then after only they are going to work on top of them. So like how just we are going to work on a basic employee task. Just give me 1 second. So today and tomorrow we are going to simply to understand the Zerocode complete life cycle. We're going to work on a simple task. So how we can connect all data sets and fields and APIs and page with API. So I'm going to start implement a small. I explain to a small task. So I give you document briefly. So because you guys are already implemented individually, like you have worked on data sets individually, and then after you have created APIs, you have created a page builder, and you have drag and drop data list. But you haven't completely interconnect all these things properly. So now we are going to complete that cycle. So let's start. implement a basic employees like users, we call it users also. The employees, basic employees maintenance. So just we are going to work on a CRUD application on employee dataset. So employee is a one. We are taking as an example. Let me explain you fields. What are the fields and its types? So just follow these names and coding conventions and types, whatever I'm mentioning here. Do the same follow here. Do not miss. See, the code thing is here. It plays a very crucial role. The code should be always less than 40 characters in terms of. So if you say 40 also, you don't try to keep a big code name. So better if you know, sometimes in real-time development, you will get a such a big name. You don't simply keep that all name as a code. So that's not good practice. That's a good coding, a good implementation here in Zerocode. So what you do, whatever names and code I have given here, you just follow the same. Okay. Here, take an example in an employee data set. I want to just keep these fields: first name, last name, email, phone number, department, language, and what he knows, gender, profile pic, experience. The experience certificate, I simply keep it as attachment. The profile pic is image field type. So what I'm keeping here, this is a sorry, I didn't miss this. This is name and this is code and this is a field type. Okay. So what I'm mentioning, the name and code, do follow the same and use the same types what I mentioned here. So I just keep I covered all the basic and basic field types here, all basic field types. So what I'm going to explain now, just explain you how we can create each field and how it should be. So as I said here, we have two types of relations here. In generally Zerocode, we have two types of relations. One is a relation and another one is choose and relation. The choose means which is nothing about a pick list. The pick list you already know when you log in with admin credentials in the end user application. If you move to masters, there you have option. So all this call choose data. Whatever you're going to create this, and you can start give relation this to in data set. So this is one type of relation, and we have actual relation. The actual relation is in between data set to data set. Choose is we have an already existing data set. So you have to simply add a new record, and that is a relation for that choose field. When it comes to actual relation, it is a relation between data set to data set. So I covered this two type of example here. Data department is a relation, and gender and language I given as choose option. So before let's go for one by one field one by one. Data set, I take it as name as employee. Code as data set code as employee. So it's not big one. So let's follow the same, no issue. First name. Okay, the first name is a text field, so you don't have any concerns here. It's simple only. The first name, last name, email, and phone number also. So these fields you simply drag and drop and use the same name and codes and use this text field type. Here for phone number, we'll use drag and drop the field type as text. But when it comes to form building, when you drag and drop for a phone number field, you have to choose number field there. So keep this in mind when implementing any phone number field or mobile number field in Zerocode. Whenever you create that field in dataset, the field type should be text field. When it comes to form, that field type should be a number. So we have field types in both data sets and form, right? So keep this remind always. The phone number, mobile number or phone number, whatever it is, it should be in data set. It's a text field type. And when it comes to page builder form, in form, it should be a number field. So why it's number field means to avoid user to enter unnecessarily characters. If you keep a number field in form, it won't allow to take characters. So it allows only numbers. That's one thing. And why we should follow the same number field here also means when it comes to technical, the number field type, it won't take more than 2 to the power of 10. So there's a rules in database. So if you give a 10-digit value, it throws an exception. So to avoid all those issues. So when in database, we'll store it as a text string only, but when it comes to form, we are considering we ask user to enter only numbers. So do you have any questions about this phone number?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Keep this remind always. Whenever just not a full phone number, any mobile number, field, whatever it is.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
The validation will be given from itself. You are saying what you are saying.
Your voice is a little bit low.
My question is, you said that phone number in the data set we have to give that as a text, right?
Text, yes.
So we have to give the validations in the form.
No, form
like
use if you use number field type.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The
We have to
validation
give
is
it
not
the
required.
number type.
Number field type. If you give number field type, validation doesn't require. So it's number field means in form it won't allow us to enter characters. It allows to enter only number. So now how it helps you keep text in dataset means sometimes client may ask to give allow user to allow to enter like local STD code with a number. Like for example, Hyderabad means in bracket you keep 040 and then after 6-digit phone number. So in that scenario, you can drag and drop text field type for inform itself also. So to cover all those types based on requirement, so we'll by default create the phone number field or mobile number field type as text field. If user client asks to keep only allows to enter number only, you can choose a number in form. If a client asks to user to allow to enter a special characters or whatever, you can choose text field type in form.
Okay, we can't overwrite it in the database. You are saying that it is a yes.
Should be text field in. So it if you I don't know who is from technical side. If you guys know about in MySQL database, if you use dataset, you should use a number field for this phone number. The number means it will create a field type as integer. So integer max is there's number. If you keep it as this one, so user what will enter? You will always 10-digit number, mobile number. So the 10-digit mobile number it won't take it. So to avoid that exception, we are considering this one. So text means string. So in string means we don't have any limitation. So when we are asking to user to enter, we are asking user to enter only number. But when we are going to save into database, we are saving it as a string. Clear? So any questions? Up to this 4 fields only. No?
Email also we can give the validations, right? @ and all.
Yeah, when it comes to form, there we have field types, email field type, whatever it have. So, but when it comes to dataset, it should be text only. So for database, we can't say that field type as email. For database, that's only types like the string, there's a decimal, decimal or fractions both of them. So it's an integer and a data field, whatever it is. So the email field
symbols
type,
and characters must be given in the front end.
Yeah. The additional validations and all those things in form, we'll cover those. Hello, any questions? Can we continue?
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Great. So next is department. So for department, we ask to keep a master, not a pick list. So for that, before creating this field, we have to by saying that a master relation means it's also another data set. So before creating this field in employee data set, we have to create a master first for this field. So for that, I have kept the first thing here. Create a master data set, a master department data set. So why I'm mentioning master means so we can identify which are fixed data we use in many places, but it won't update and save every time. So it is we'll enter this data at a specific time only. We won't keep on changes. So we will use this data as a drop downs. So in Zerocode, if you ask to keep a relation and that if it's a master data set, you have to append in front of that name to master. Okay, if you say department master, so add a department master to employee data set. So you have to create the data set name as master department and code as master department. So if you also to keep for example, master designations. So designations, so whatever we have a list of data which won't update every time, we will always ask user to select one of the record means we will create as another data set and we'll give that relation to actual data set. So designation is another example. So for that, what we create a data set name and code is a master designations and master designation underscore designations. So and one more thing, field name and dataset name always should be a singular. So do not create like employees, master departments like that. So a dataset name or field name should be always singular. This is also one rule we have to follow. So what are the things I'm specifying? Please keep a note. So use this remind every time when you're implementing. Okay, so create a name master department, code as master underscore department, and create two fields, a name and code. So name is enough. Why we need code means there's a requirement in future, like what we know. Based on the code, we are going to write some conditions. So you can understand better when it comes to real-time development. So when I say any data master data set, so you follow this name master the same way and create two fields always, name and code. So name and code both are text fields only. Okay, and on for every master data set you have to create one CRUD operation. Okay, so in this CRUD operation you have only two fields. For this master data set also you are also going to create one page, department page. So in that page, you have for this master department also you are going to create a list API, save update API, select API, and delete API. Okay, so this is the first job you have to done. Let me. So how we have to create the names and all things I'll explain below. So after creation of this data set, you have to create this APIs also, and also a department page. So choose module as masters. Masters not required. Create a new module. So department module and department page. Okay. So create up to this. Do not try to implement this complete in page builder. So create a data set and with these two fields and create all these APIs. Okay. Then after this one, next after creation of master department dataset, now coming to employee dataset, I said a one-to-many relation. So you guys already aware of this. What is one-to-many and what is one-to-one? So do you have any questions about this one-to-one and one-to-many? Are you guys clear already? I think Jay explained you, right?
He explained once relations.
We generally in Zerocode we follow one type of relation only, which is a one-to-many. Which is what is mean one-to-many means here. For one department. So what happening? We are going to save a department reference in employee table. So what happened? Like we last user to select from drop down which department the employees belongs to. So we will select one department, right? And after saving, a selected department reference going to be saved in this employee dataset. Here, what happened for same department? There might be multiple employees. So suppose, for example, take HR department. So the HR department in an organization there will be many employees. So like the way here we're saying that for one department many employees. So that's why we choose one-to-many while creating this relation.
For example of gender, what you will select the one-to-one, one-to-many.
One-to-one, I'll extend. Keep it whole that one. So if you know about one-to-one, you will get confused. So that's quite different thing. That's advanced one. So forget about one-to-one requirement you won't get for until next class. 3 to 6 months won't don't. You have to know about only one-to-many. Okay, the one-to-one we will explain you later definitely. That's a bit advanced. If you know about this one-to-one, you will get confused which one you have to choose always. So remind that you have only one relation. You know about only one-to-one relation. Okay, which means that for one department you have many employees. Okay, let's see how we can create this department field here. Even though it's a master department dataset, but name should be only department. Field name code. Sorry guys. So if even though I say master is dataset name is master department, but we will follow the field name as simply department. Okay, here let's see how we can create this field in employee dataset. So I said it's a relation, not a choose field. So I used to drag and drop this relation. After drag and drop relation, so on top it's source. First one is source, below one is target. In source, the label name is department and DB column is department. So code DB column is always small characters and should be less than 40. So try to give as much as if it's department is fine. It's a small number of characters is fine. If it's going to be on a big name, try to give small name only. But short code should be always understandable. If it's a department, you can keep DEPT. So it's fine, good thing. Instead of keeping DEPT, suppose if you give one short code like a DEP or DET, So that's not good practice. So whenever you want to give a short codes names, give a proper one to understand generally. So if you can Google it also, what the short code, better short code for which one you are going to create. Okay. So department and department is the name, same code, DB column, and here you choose as one to many. So for one department, many employees, right? So that's the way we choose one to many. And target, you have to select that to which data set you are going to relate this field. So we are going to save the master department dataset reference in employee dataset. So that's why we choose
Sir,
the
can you
target.
please zoom in your screen, sir? It is not visible clear actually.
No, I'll send a document. Don't worry. No, it won't zoom better because yeah. Now, I think it's clear. Hello.
Yes, it is clear, Rano. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you select a master department. So because we are going to give relation to this one, and choose this one, which data set going to relate, and target give label and DB column is same, should be same always. What are the this existing employee, this is existing data set name and code. So this data set name code is employee and employee. So use the same name and code, whatever the name and code we are given here to this data set. You have to give the same name and code here. Label as name and DB column as this data set code. This should be always same. Not like employee 1 or employee 2, whatever. It should be always same. The DB column code name is always same. This dataset code, and label is whatever the label we have created for this dataset. This is how we have to create a one-to-many relation field in a dataset. So any questions?
Sir, it's clear, sir.
Next, so why we're following this relation and how it really works? So text means simply you are saving a data and going to save into data set, right? How this relation it works, in a database terminology. So there's a table in database. We'll call them as a table. Here in Zerocode, we're calling them as a dataset. The name only changes. So what happened? Indirectly we are creating creating a database structure in dataset. We are creating dataset fields means we are creating tables in database. Nothing much difference. So if you want to instead of using this relation, you can simply give a text field. We can ask user to enter which department he belongs to. What happen? Different users will enter different department names. Some will enter HR, some will enter human resource, some will enter different case. So to avoid all these things, we ask user to select fixed thing, and user asks to select which one you belongs to. So for that, we will create another data set, another table data. There we have created a fixed records. So this won't vary. This one user has to choose one of those. And what happened when you create this relation field, and if you save one record, select one department, save into database, what happened? Whatever the ID of that record, selected record, department record, that ID going to be saved in employee table. So when you are fetching data, what happened in Zerocode? It's automatically. So we have said that this department has a relation and it's related to master department table. So I have a reference number of this record. So you have to join this reference number of this another data set, master department data set, and get that match reference number record and give that name. So what happens generally, if you say name and code is human resource and code as HR, that for that record the ID is like 1. Suppose PK, the primary key ID. So if the first record of that table is a HR human resource, the might be primary ID is 1. The 1 going to be stored in employee, right? When you're getting data, what happened? It's try to find this reference 1 ID in master department table. So it finds first record and it will give the data for that department is inside department object. It will give a human resource name and code is HR and ID is 1. The 1 is you are getting in encrypted format. That's how it works. So how we are going to create a relation and how it fetch data is this. How. Do you have any questions about how we are creating a relation field on how it back internally works? You understand? Do you have any questions? Steam? No?
Row format, right?
Sorry.
You're asking how the data is storing in the
Yeah, I'm
database.
just that doesn't require you for, but to you understand better how it really works, I just explain you. So to understand that you can know about in advance, but not an issue. I will give you the real time image like how it really stores and give you. I just given brief. It doesn't require how it really works internally. No need to worry about that.
Okay, then what is your question, sir? Actually, didn't get.
Do you understand this one-to-one relation properly?
Yes, yes. I have one doubt basically.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from this department,
Suppose if we are choosing the field list as a gender, okay.
Okay, I'll come to that. So forget about the choose field. This next one is
Okay.
choose field. So
Okay,
my question
if
is all about relation field type.
okay, all the relational table should be in a one-to-many. You're asking.
One-to-many. For now, you follow this one-to-many only.
Okay, right.
So that's it. There's a requirement one-to-one, but you don't need to worry about it. If you know now, if you know about that one, you will get confused. Okay. Okay. Let's move to languages. Next field we have, which is languages. So we ask user to select a multiple languages which he knows. Okay. So create a field name as languages known and code is languages known. So for this, I said a choose field type. So choose means so we have two type of reference data. So one is relation. So storing the data in another data set and giving relation to the data set, and we are asking user to select one of that. The other one is we have a fixed relation data set. We call it as master, or we call it as a pick list. So in this pick list, if you add a new record, that will be will create as a one new relation for the data set. So instead of calling that a relation, we call it as a pick choose field type. The choose field type. So if you create and if you log into the client admin application, in a client user application, you log into administration credentials. There's a masters. Here, if you click on add option, so you can create name and code, right? Forget about icon description. So simply enter languages. Language name is languages, code is languages. Okay, and then after creating this record, if you click on that, whatever create a record. Suppose example, create and debit, right? If you click on that label, it will navigate to next page. So after navigating next page, it's reflect this. So here you have to enter number of records, like only focus on name and code. Forget about color and icon. Just enter English, Telugu, Malayalam, Marathi, Hindi, whatever it is. So add for 5 to 6 records, and then only you come to here and drag and drop choose field type. Give name as languages, so you can keep language. I given as a language. For example, keep language. Okay. Here, when you open this drop down, and if you search for this language pick list which I have created here, so then once you created, then only if you drag and drop this. So what you have to create first, and then after drag and drop this choose field, and then comes to open a drop down here, pick list, search for that name, you can find it and select one now. Here I select as one instead of select choose many, not one. This is wrong. I'll correct it. Okay. So why many means you are asking user to select multiple languages, right? So when you drag and drop choose field type in relation, we have two options, one or many. So in that relation, choose many, not one. Okay. So when user tries to select multiple languages, it's going to save the multiple records in this entire data set with this language name. So this is multiple pick list records going to save by selecting many, and we are going to give this in different representation form like checkboxes or multiple select checkboxes, two options. So we'll come to that later. Okay. So here it's a one, but make it too many. I'll correct this and send you the right one. Okay. Next is gender. So for which data we have to choose create a choose field, and which one we have to choose a master means. That's only name and name only, name and code. We don't have other relation. Then we go for a pick list. So what pick list means, always this one. In user application masters, we call it as a pick list. So create a pick list and choose field, drag and drop choose field type, create that one. So sometimes we may require some additional fields. So pick list we have only a fixed number of fields, a name, code, and color icon. Sometimes real-time business, real-time development, business requirement. So you might require some additional fields here. But this is not possible. This is a Zerocode, a fixed one. So we want some additional fields for in the master. So what you have to do, you have to create a new data set, and you have to create whatever fields you want there, and give that relation to wherever you want put on the data set. So this is how you have to decide which one is pick list, which you have to choose which is pick list type and which is a master relation trait. So if you have more than one column data we require to want to store multiple columns to store in a data set, you have to choose another data set and create data and give relation. If that's only like for drop down, if you see drop down, we require only name, and name is enough. So then you go for this masters, create here pick list records. So gender and language, we don't require many, right? We require only names enough. So that's why I choose pick list. So when creating gender, after drag and drop choose field type, you select one. For languages, you choose many, because gender is always one, right? That's not many, right? So for languages, you ask user to select multiple languages. So that's why you select here many. For gender, you choose select for one only relation. So I didn't given screenshot here. So hope you understand. So do you have any questions about our pick list?
No, sir.
Great. Next, profile pic. Say image field type. So there's we have an option called image field. This one. So drag and drop this image field type, and you just give name and code as this one. So there's some additional features like dimensions and all these things. Forgot about that one. I will explain you later. So when you drag and drop image field type, you will get few more options. Mention dimensions of that image. So forget about that one. You simply give name and code is enough for now. Experience certificate, you keep a drag and drop this attachment type. So just drag and drop attachment type and give name as this one, experience certificate, and this one. Instead of giving this experience underscore certificate such a big name, I given as proper short code, exp underscore certificate. This should be a code for that field. Okay. So next is salary. So salary means values may be in terms of decimal values, right? Like 10,500 points, something. It may be there might be chances to we'll get a deposit in terms of decimals also. So I choose for practice purpose the salary as fraction. The fraction means value going to store in terms of decimal values also. Okay, that's one thing. And next is experience in years. So I created as a name and this as a core. So for years we don't require a short name because years itself is a short one. So simply keep years. So exp years. So to understand better, just say enough. So it doesn't require to give exp on a score in years also doesn't matter. So if you read the field name, so you have to understand. Okay, this is how. But this is how, what's the mean by this field type. And I choose as a number. So we'll ask user to enter number, right? It's 5 years or 6 years of number. So I choose for this field type as number. So address, employee address might be much bigger, like name and street code and village name, mandal, district, state, and pin code, all those things. So if you want to store such a big information, we will choose drag and drop text area. So you have text area in this one. So name is as address and address file. So date of birth, I name it as DOB. And date of birth will always ask user to select only date, forget about any time also. So I choose for this field as type as date. So we have date time, forget about time and date time, map. So this fields is somehow advanced, so don't need to worry about now. JSON also not required. So I have covered remaining all field types. So create with these names in employee dataset. So hope you understand how to create a data set on its fields, and except only about when it comes about when you discuss about a relation and choose, you can understand now how we can create a relation field and we can create a choose field. And remaining field types simply drag and drop and give name code is enough. So only you have to know about better about is relation field type and choose field type. So do you have any questions about up to here the requirement employee data sets and fields and field types?
No, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
People who have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. If people are clear, also no issues. So who is not clear, you can raise and you can ask your questions. Don't worry, I'm here to answer. But do not make mistakes.
Hello, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, Vinod
Hmm.
Kumar, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. You already this one is uploaded. I mean, implemented this one, sir.
Okay, if you implemented, you understand, no issues. If
Sir.
you don't have any questions, tell me.
Just a sample can see that one, sir.
No, your voice is
Okay.
not clear.
You are already implemented this one, sir.
No, I haven't implemented. You guys implemented?
No, sir. Same like this one only implemented, but some fields are missing.
Forget about whatever you practiced earlier. Just follow the same. If you keep on practicing same, also doesn't matter. No issues.
Sir,
Sorry,
Sure.
who is this?
this is Amin, sir.
Tell me, Samir.
Sir, experience in years, we can add in fractions also, sir.
Yeah, but I would like to collect only number field type. That's
Okay, okay.
real time it comes to a fraction also, like a 10.5, 5.5.
That's why I'm asking, sir.
Yeah, no issues. But I ask you to keep only number. We are collecting only number field type. So to cover all these field types, I choose one of these.
Okay, sir.
Either you can change experience in years to fraction and salary to the number field type. For now, no issues. Let's follow. That's a good question, but no issues. Follow the same field type. So,
Excuse me, sir.
sorry, tell me.
Sir, already we did this one, no, sir. Already employee ID. We created everything, no, sir. Like same.
I think you didn't cover this all field types, right?
Yeah, yes.
That's right. Today and tomorrow meeting concept is you have to cover basics of complete life cycle of Zerocode, and you have to implement the task.
Okay, okay, sir.
Whatever
Thank you.
you do, whatever you did up to now, you did only bits and pieces. You have created works on datasets on one day and build on one day and APIs on one day. And of course, you have might be related, but not completely properly, right? So
Yes.
today and tomorrow is you have to complete the life cycle of
Okay.
how to connect with the datasets and API and page builder. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So this about datasets and API design. So CAD operations, we have to follow. We have to create a 4 APIs. We have 4 types of APIs. We have to create those 4 types of APIs. So you already know about list, select, save, update, and delete. So list, it will help to display list of all records in a data list, and select type will help you to get a particular complete record information display in a pop-up. So I have given this detail here. So let's go to create. First is employee list. For list, you have to choose always a method type as get. There's a method type. So the method type should be always get. Okay. So why you choose get means we are getting only always data, not posting. So not going to save, right? So whenever you, after finishing of this one, in future, when you have time, so you Google it, what is different types, what is mean by get and post, put and delete. There's a 4 types. You just, if you have time, if you want enthusiasm to know about better these things, you can Google it to understand it better. Okay. So what I'm showing here for this thing, you just follow blindly. So no need to worry about this, what it's really meant, why you have to choose only get for this list API. So employee list, name is employee list, and giving name. So select data set is employee, and type is list, and method type as get, and just give this name employee list, but do not select this specific checkbox. Okay. So if you are going to create one type of API on one data set, so do not require to give a code. So if you want going to create, so you already created an employee list and employee data set, but you want to create another list API, but it's adding some additional conditions. So then you have to select this specific checkbox. Otherwise, what it throws a message. So there's an API with the same name. So you have to select this checkbox and you have to give some different code for that. So now we are not going to create a same type of multiple APIs on same data set. So do not select specific checkbox. So forget about if you select this specific checkbox, it opens, you ask you to enter a code for this API. So it doesn't require. So when you have only going to create one type of API on one data set, so do not require. If you're going to create same type of API on same data set, next time you have to select specific checkbox, you have to give new code for that API. Okay. So create the name and select these fields only. So in list, data list, we are going to display only these fields: first name, last name, email, a phone number, and department. Inside department, it will open, you ask you to select name and code. So in department, you have name and code, right? Select name only inside that. So create a time. So create a time, create ID. It is a default fields when you create a API dataset. So it creates by default 4 fields, 5 fields. Create time, modify time, create ID, modify ID. So it won't you to ask you to which record has been created by whom and what time it has been created. So Zerocode is by default doing this thing. So at which time and who has been created or updated this particular record. So when you create a record, it automatically saves that. So at which time and who has created this record. So this created means which are based on session user ID. You log in and create a record. So session user is you means it saves your ID here. So in the created ID field type, you have to, it's relation to user field, right? So there in user field, whatever fields you have, those fields will be visible. So in created ID field type, open it and select these fields. So in the list, we are going to display these field names only. So remaining fields, we are going to ask the user to click on the view form and we'll display all fields there. So generally do this one. So in data set, we have 10 to 20 fields. So we're not going to display all those fields in the data list. So we'll choose only the main fields required to display in data list. The remaining all information will give an additional action. So clicking that additional row action will display in a complete different pop-up. I will all fields data. So this is also one thing we have to follow. If a data set is more than a five or 10 fields, and if there's a requirement, we have to display only few fields in a list, and we have to give an initial row action. By clicking that row action, you will call a select API. You will integrate select API for that form, and that you have mapped there. You will display all fields there. So this how better good way of implementing. So this is employee list and employee save update API. So save update API. Save means you are going to add a new record. Update means you are going to update an existing record. For both things, we have only one type of API. Is save update API. You know how it Zerocode knows whether it's going to be save new record or it's going to be update an existing record means. If you there's a UID concept. So maybe you don't know, I'm not sure. So there's a UID concept. If you don't send UID, Zerocode assumption that it's a new record. So it has to create a new record in the employee table. So if you send a UID additionally to that information, so Zerocode knows okay, this one type of encrypted ID. So I'll decrypt it and I'll find this record in employee table and I'll update data against that UID. So what will happen when you're going to create a new record? You don't send UID, you don't have UID, right? So you will create a new record. When there is a edit and update option, so when you click on edit form, you will prefill that information, complete information with select API. So there you have ID because that's the existing record. So it will automatically send that UID, and when you are saved, so UID will send to the Zerocode API, and Zerocode knows that okay, this is existing record. We have to update this information against that UID. So when you send UID, it will update. When you don't send UID, it will create a new record. So do you understand this one? The save update, save what is mean to save and what is mean to update. Clear? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
So in saved API, you have to select fields only which you have created in dataset. So whatever fields you have created, those fields you have to select in employee save update. Okay. When it comes to department, I'll give you one reference for that. Or maybe when it comes to relation field, you have to if you open a department, if you have option to select two fields, right? Select only code field always. Anyone is fine. Code field inside department. If you open department, there's a code. Select code, and there is an option called a tag and manage. So always select only tag. So we are going to tag, and we are going to tag that record to a employee, right? So we select only tag. So what is meant by manage means doesn't require for now. It's an advanced feature. We'll let you know later. So I'll add the screenshot here. Don't worry. How we have to select that field, department field in save update field type. In employee select select all field types which you have created in the same data set. So these are the same. And in delete doesn't require to select anything. So just simply create a employee API with the method type as delete. So this is about APIs you have to create for that. And what I mentioned on top for department also, I have to create same like same types, same 4 types of APIs for department also. Department list, department select, department save update, department delete. Okay, then given names. Hope you follow that names. So how I have given for employee. So you have to create same way. So here you have only always 2 fields only. So in list doesn't require to display who has created this department. You always just display only name and code enough. For list also you choose only name and code, and select also choose name and code only. For save date also you choose only select only name and code. Delete doesn't require any field types. You have to simply send only UID. If you send UID, it will delete that record. So we'll explain that one when it comes to delete how it works. So hope you understand how we are going to create APIs for this master department. Any questions? Team? No? Fine. So as I said, we'll create data sets and we'll create APIs, and then we'll move to page. Now at last, you have to create only employees page. So page names might be plural, not an issue. Create a name with a name and code as employees and employees. That's all. Create a new model called employees, and a new application, not an issue. You choose any existing application or create new application, no issues. Create new model called employees and create new page employees. That's all. Create up to this one. So do not implement anything in page builder. So today's assignment is we have to create data sets and field types and APIs. So we have two things, two data sets here, employee data set and master data set. For each data set, you have to create a 4 type of APIs. So have any questions? Can we end the session?
Sir, after completion of this session, please send that PDF, sir. This.
Yeah, you'll receive, right? Definitely. So HR is sending you, right, every day.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No issues.
Yesterday PDF didn't send to us, sir.
Sorry.
Yesterday PDF, sir.
Yesterday you didn't receive PDF.
Yes, sir.
I'll resend then. I'll ask HR to send that.
Okay, sir.
What's your name?
Banu, sir.
Banu. Okay, Banu. I'll ask HR to send yesterday document.
Okay, sir.
Priyanka.
Yes, sir.
Check that Priyanka yesterday mail if you send the mail to Banu or not, yesterday document.
Yeah, okay.
If not, try to resend it.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll be sending today.
People
Thank
who
you.
are not receiving document, you can directly mail to HR. She will send it. Today, I think she will share you shortly. I'll make a couple of changes to this. I'll update to HR. She will share you shortly. Next 10 hours.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Maybe I didn't cover properly in API fields how to select. Let's see how you guys understand. I'll correct your questions and doubts in evening. How we have to select if it's relation field type, how we have to select a field. So if a relation field, what are the fields you have in a relation field, it will display all those. But when you're going to save update, you have to select only one field, and that is it should be a tag, not a manage. Okay, we'll see. We'll explain you.
Okay.
Any questions?
So
Yes.
you said UID. So do we need to create UID?
No. Zerocode will take care of that.
Okay.
So when you are editing record, so when you get a list, when you're going to save new record, it will create the ID and as a one number. No, no need to show for now. To understand you better, let me give how it really saves in backend. Suppose, for example, take this as a reference. Assumption this is an employee data set. Okay, these are all we have fields. So this is data set, and these are all fields.
Okay.
So yeah, this is primary key ID. So it's if any data, if you take any database, relation database. There's two types of databases: relational database and non-relational databases. So non-relational database example like Mongo. So Mongo is one type of. So there's no relation in Mongo. So we store database data in terms of non-structural as a JSON format. So relation database like example is SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle. For all these, in every table, we'll have one unique ID. So that will be the unique reference to find the every record. So when you're creating a new record in the employee data set, so you don't know that ID, you will simply only send this fields data. Zerocode will automatically creates a new record with this ID. So it will create, if it's the first record means it saves as ID as 1. Next time you say new record, it will create new ID as 2. So doesn't worry about this. Zerocode will take care of all those things.
Okay,
and when you're getting a list, so you create a list API, right? And you will indicate that list to a data list. So when you're getting list, there Zerocode will give additionally this UID. By default, Zerocode will give that UID of that record. So even though it's a 1-2, the ID will be encrypted and gives back to you. So when you view this data in a console, so you don't know about what is that number ID, encrypted ID. So to avoid to security issues, we encrypting that ID, and we internally it's decrypting and saving in database.
Okay.
So when you come to get a list or list API or select API, Zerocode will by default give ID of that record. So when you are updating next time, you have that UID with you, and you have to send that UID. You send that UID when you're updating. So Zerocode knows about, okay, this is existing record. We have to decrypt this and find that ID of that record and update that remaining information.
Okay.
So like for example, for one, it's a ID means UID encrypt ID means this one. Suppose we are going to send this UID from form. So it will decrypt and the value might be 1 means. So it will find this record. And if you update any record information, that will be override against this record. This is data set, like this is generally what we are always discussing about the database and the table, what is needed.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right. So any questions from others?
Regarding today's assignment, can you please what we
Sorry,
have
your voice is low.
I want to ask regarding today's assignment, what we have to do. First we have to create the masters, and then we have to.
I'll share this document. Yeah, you have to simply follow the steps. Whatever I explained you, this is a task. This is assignment.
Okay, we have to simply.
You have to implement. Today's assignment is you have to follow the document. You have to follow the steps and create data sets, fields, and APIs. So today and tomorrow is only assignments, nothing much. So while explaining about assignment, I'll give you the instructions to follow. By end of the day tomorrow, you have to complete this task completely. So
Yes,
whatever the assignment today I explained you, make it done properly. Tomorrow it might be somehow little bit you have to work on.
Hello?
Yes, Banu?
Sir, once again, please briefly explain what today's assignment.
I have explained you last 1 hour about assignment about Banu. This is assignment. The complete document is assignment.
Okay, sir.
There is no information, introduction, all those things. This is about assignment. So HR will share you this document.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I said I didn't share any knowledge about today. I'm going to explain about today and tomorrow is only about assignments. So
Okay, sir.
I'll give instructions how we have to follow, what are the rules and we have to follow. Vinod?
Yes, sir.
No, do you understand?
Yeah, sir.
Great.
I
Varalakshmi?
understand.
Yes, sir, I understood.
Great. Basha?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Great. Ramya?
Yes, sir.
Great. Fine. Okay, guys. Hassan will share this document shortly. So wait for that time and we start working on this one. And please try to complete this one today. Today's evening session. Do not say that still pending and due to some reasons I didn't work on that. So please put some effort. Student tomorrow might be harder, but a little bit effort.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
If your
Okay,
guys
sir.
are already advanced, it means that you can make it done very quick, less time. So if you're not advanced, it may take time for you. So speed spend some time. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Sir?
bye. Bye. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Can I show my yesterday's assignment right now?
Fine. You know, right? What I have reviewed yesterday.
Yes, sir.
If you did same, means no issue.
Yes, sir. I mean, I also check an end user application.
Mm-hmm.
It's working, sir.
Fine then. Fine then.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Great idea. Super good.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let's stop in this session. Priyanka.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, you can end this session.
Sir, I
Thank you,
have
guys.
sent yesterday's document to all the candidates. Please say them to check it.
Okay. Right.
Yes, ma'am. I receive. I check it, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
I also received, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yeah,
Let's
sir.
come
Thank you, sir.
evening. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, sir.